So the phylum Chordata. If you're, we know we're in the animal kingdom. So if you're an animal and you have 4 characteristics that I'm going to explain to you, you will be in the phylum Chordata. Okay? Anybody know what they are? I have a picture here. Backbone. It's not one. Multicellular, you're an animal. Oh, yeah.
A brain.
A brain is not one either, but there's something similar. I'm just going to give it to you. The first one is called a notochord. Now, it actually will develop into a backbone in some chordates, okay? So not all chordates have a backbone. So you still have some invertebrate chordates, okay? But the notochord is a long flexible rod, and in most chordates it will end up at some point in development becoming a backbone or replaced by a backbone. The second one is called a dorsal hollow nerve cord. And this is what you pretty much reference as your spinal cord. So it's like tissue that forms around the notochord. So if you look at the picture, the notochord is first, and the dorsal hollow nerve cord surrounds the notochord. All right, then in the bottom, anybody know what that bottom left picture is? What am I pointing to? If you look at this organism and I point it to that bottom left, what would you say?
I think it's the polio.
Tail. And if you're a chordate, and you know we're chordates, you have a tail.
Are you serious?
At some point in your stage or some point in development, yeah, like a frog, correct. And then the last one is pharyngeal slits, and these help for gas exchange. So when you think of gas exchange, try to think of respiration in a sense, and in aquatic vertebrates, these are like develop into gills. All right, so I showed you this picture once before when we talked about evolution and how embryos are similar. Well, here's a picture of a fish, a bird, a reptile, and a human. And you see that we have a tail during early stages of development. There you could see the notochord, which looks like a backbone in a sense for us. You're not seeing the dorsal hollow nerve cord, but up on top you see a 5-week-old embryo of a human, and you could see the pharyngeal slits, and it's showing you how that develops into what we call the cleft. Didn't somebody have the cleft lip and palate project in this class, or no? When we did genetic disorders? No. Well, and let me see where we are. Invert chordates, okay? So there are chordates that we know have a notochord, but they don't develop a backbone, ever. So why aren't they invertebrates, like the first 8 phylums? Who can answer that question? Because they have the 4 characteristics of chordates. All my other inverts, peripheral all those do not have these characteristics. So they had to move on to another phylum. All right, so the first invertebrate chordates are called lancelets, and the second is called tunicates. That's all you have to know about invertebrate chordates. That one is called the lancelet and one is called the tunicate. And here's a picture of each. I'll go back. There's my lancelet and there's my tunicates. Okay, so lancelet and tunicates.